What's up, guys? Welcome back to Free Forex Basics with Matt. Welcome to my YouTube channel if this is your first time watching. Otherwise, go back, watch the intro, watch the other videos before you move on. So what we're going to teach you about today is what is Forex. This video is going to be a little bit boring, but you do need to learn the absolute basics. So what is Forex? Forex is the largest financial market in the world. It's the global market that allows one to trade two currencies against each other. If you think one currency will be stronger versus the other, and you end up correct, then you can make a profit. If you've ever traveled to another country, you usually had to find a currency exchange booth at the airport. Then you exchange the money you have in your wallet into the currency of the country you're visiting. Obviously, because you can't use the currency from the country you came from into the new country that you're visiting. So, foreign exchange. Okay, you go up to the counter and notice a screen displaying different exchange rates or different currencies, and this is what you see. An exchange rate is the relative price of two currencies from two different countries. So you find Japanese yen and you think to yourself, wow, my $1 is worth 100 yen and I have $10. I'm going to be rich. So basically what we're saying is you have $1, it's equivalent to 100 yen. So if you're coming from the US and you're visiting Japan or China, you basically have $10, you'll end up with 1,000 yen because you'll times it by 10. Okay, so that's amazing. When you do this, you've essentially participated in the forex market. You've exchanged one currency for another, or in forex trading terms, assuming you're an American visiting Japan, you've sold your dollars and bought yen. Okay, currency exchange. Before you fly back home, you stop by the currency exchange booth to exchange the yen that you've miraculously left over, and notice the exchange rates have changed. It's these changes in the exchange rate that allows you to make money in the forex exchange market. So when you landed, $1 could be 100 yen, and when you're leaving, your $1, the exchange rate might have changed to 101 yen. So that is basically, with that change in price, that is basically the foreign exchange market, and I hope you understand that. Okay, what is Forex? The foreign exchange market, which usually known as Forex or FX. So when we say Forex, we can also use the term FX. It's just a shortened version. A lot of the guys who've been trading for a long time, they use the word FX. It's the largest financial market in the world. The FX market is a global decentralized market where the world's currencies change hands. Exchange rates change by the second, so the market is constantly in flux. When they say that, it's constantly doing this. Okay, only a tiny percentage of currency transactions happen in the real economy today, involving international trade and tourism, like the airport example that I gave above. It's a very minuscule amount of people that go nowadays to actual exchange booths. So instead, most of the currency transactions that occur in the global foreign exchange market are bought and sold for speculative reasons. Okay, currency traders, also known as currency speculators, buy currencies hoping that they will be able to sell them at a higher price in the future. So, compared to the $22.4 billion per day volume of the New York Stock Exchange, the Forex exchange market looks ginormous, with a $6.6 trillion per day volume. When I started it was $5.2 trillion. Now it's 6.6 trillion. And I think the comparison is, I'm sure everybody's heard about the New York Stock Exchange where they deal in stocks. That there is massive, and it's $22.4 billion per day volume. Now Forex, known as FX, has a 6.6 trillion a day trade volume. You understand? It's ginormous. Forex trading volume. The Forex market is over 200 times bigger than the stock exchange. That's huge. That huge $6.6 trillion number covers the entire global foreign exchange market. So that includes everything. And then if you just want to count the daily trading volume for retail trader, that's us, it's even smaller. It's very difficult to determine the exact size of the retail segment of the FX market, but it's estimated to be around 3 to 5% of overall daily FX trading volumes, or around 2 to 300 billion dollars, might be less. So if you take a 6.6 trillion dollar a day market, we are what you call retail traders. We only cover 3 to 5% of that 6.6 trillion, covering 2 to 3 billion, maybe less. So you see, the Forex market is definitely huge, but not as huge as others would like you to believe. Don't believe the Forex is a 6.6 trillion market hype. The huge number sounds impressive, but it might be a bit misleading, because retail Forex aside from its size, the market also rarely closes. It's open virtually around the clock. Forex is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, only closing down during the weekends. Okay, so unlike the stock or bonds market, the Forex market does not close at the end of each business day. So the New York Stock Exchange, when the bell rings, it's closed, it stops. Whereas the Forex market runs Monday to Friday, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. So instead, trading just shifts to different financial centers around the world. So you've got Tokyo, Australia, London, New York, and the different exchanges around the world, and it just goes like that. The day starts when traders wake up in Auckland, Wellington, then it moves to Sydney, Singapore, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Frankfurt, London, and finally New York, before trading starts all over again in Wellington. And as you can see, by naming all these countries with the different time zones, you'll notice that it's 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay, so that is the end of my slide. So on what is Forex. So I've read a whole lot of boring stuff that is something that you do need to know. If we just run over it quickly on what is Forex. Basically, guys, largest financial market in the world. It's got $6.6 trillion of volume daily. We are retail traders. I will teach you more about who else trades the Forex market on another video, but our volume alone is, like I said before, around 2 to 300 billion dollars. Now, you're just trying to take a small sliver out the market a day. Very possible. Okay. In short, again, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. The reason being is the different exchanges. So you've got Sydney, Singapore, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Frankfurt, London, and finally New York, before trading starts all over again in Auckland, Wellington. Because of the different time zones, you see that New York being in the US, basically they open last, because they open up at 8 a.m. and that time zone is behind the other time zone, and that is why New York is the last one to open. But I'm going to tell you something, New York is the best time to trade. Anyway guys, but we'll learn more about that. And that's been my video on what is Forex. There's not too much more you need to understand about that, but I can go into more detail if need be. I hope you enjoyed the video guys, and see you again for round 3 or 4.